You want to go do some work with me? Action Jackson there, cat. Hey everybody, what's shaking? What do you say we get that 1155 back out and do an epic cold start on it, pull it back in the barn and get her finished up. Now guys, I get the aching suspicion I'm gonna need a little bit of dentist office gas there, but I'll give it a shot anyway. Let's see. I've had it plugged in for a while, but it's got two block heaters, one on each side of the bank, and I've only got one power source, so let's see. Well, that went better than I thought. We'll just let that snort for a minute. Can't see in there anyway. Alright guys, well now that we got the fun stuff over, I gotta figure out what's causing this bleedy, terrible mess. Okay, so, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff in the way here, of course. So I think what I'm gonna do, this will be my plan of attack for this project. First, I gotta get rid of all this. Some of it ain't going back. I was up on the roof of this tractor, and everything that has to do with the air conditioning up there is absolute garbage. So, it ain't gonna work. There ain't no point in putting this back in. So, I'm gonna get rid of the AC condenser. Directly behind that is the hydraulic oil cooler. That's gonna have to go because the top of that rack and pinion is about yay far from it. So we'll go ahead and get that out of there. I'll get the hoses off the rack, get the tie rod ends off the rack, get the 6 bolts out of it, lift it out, put it on the workbench, and open it up and see what's going on. I bet it's not light. It looks heavy in there. Ah well, we'll find out. I'll be darned. Huh. There's still a lot of that in there. Better hide that from Bill Cosby. That. Now tell me guys if you can see something in this region here. That doesn't look right. That could spell problems for me real fast. Alright guys, well that kind of changes my perspective on things here. I gotta figure out why that popped off. And looking at it, there's orange silicone around the top, so all that tells me is that it's probably done it before. Or maybe these seals that are in either side of this ram, or maybe they shot enough where they're putting extra pressure in the side of this. Is this got not returning back to the main pump properly? Is the main pump cause for concern? Should I maybe take that out and get it rebuilt or looked at? It just brings up a whole lot of what ifs. Okay guys, I guess we're just gonna pull this whole rack and pinion right out of here. Which I'm sure it'll go real easy because it's feather light and there's nothing in the way. Right. So let's get this oil cooler out of the way. And then there's 3 bolts that hold on this the pitman arm, I guess you could call it, on the bottom of this rack. We got to get those out. There's 4 bolts holding this rack in. And then we're just going to lift it right out of there like she's a feather. I'm sure this will go very, very smooth. There. Never underestimate the power of a good hammer. Okay, now, okay guys, so see this guy here, there's 2 more in there that I already removed. That holds this whole pitman arm on here, and you know what? She won't fit out the hole, so you gotta take it off from down here. Let me go ahead and zap that back off of there. Let me go ahead and get that zapped out of there. Oh boy. All right, my friends, we're down to the wire here. I just have these 4 bolts to pull out of here, and I can just zing this feather light little piece of scrap iron right out of here. Now guys, if I can give you any advice at all, you don't have to use it. You can take it, or you can just leave it right there. But those 2 hoses that go on the ends of these rams, I guess you call them, for the love of God, leave them hooked on until you're done, because I tell you what, if you move the steering or the rack or push on it, or basically anything at all with it, those do not hesitate to shoot oil out clear to the ceiling. Just friendly advice. Don't ask me how I know. All right, let's get. Oh, that poor light. As if there isn't enough oil down here already. Okay. Now that that's out of the way. Sure would be easy if I could just get my whole body up in here and lift it out. That ain't gonna happen. tremendous. You're in the way. Oh, there. Okay guys, the thing that makes this challenging job a little more challenging is, you see the big round bottom part of this rack and pinion, it barely fits through that hole. So it already weighs 100 whatever. I don't know how much it weighs. It's heavy, let's say that. And then you got to fight through 4 inches of gook and shit and whatever else is in there to sneak it on by. So there's that too. And that maybe, I suppose if I could get some help, that would make my life a little easier. But you know what I say?
I work alone.
There's no way this is going to be easy. Oh dear. Good golly. Okay guys, if you were paying attention just now, you'll remember that I pulled one rack and pinion out of said tractor here, and now I have 2. Let me tell you a little story. I ran across a guy who was junking an 1130, and by golly, if he didn't give me a rack and a new front, well, it's not new, but another rack and a front pump. Engine went on the tractor and the rest of it was pretty well shot, so he was just gonna, yeah, there wasn't much to salvage, and whatever there was, I just got. Now, that being said, being the price on this was 0, that worked out good for me, and I think with the weight of these 2 objects here, I think that he kind of got the short end of the deal there, because yeah, I had to pull them out of a junk tractor, but you know what? They're heavy, nevertheless. Now, you'll notice this is a little bit different style of rack and pinion. I was going through the AGCO parts books, and sure enough, there's 2. Aside from they look a little different, the rams are a little bit different, everything else seems, I mean, pretty much the same, except for these back bolts on this one. Now, oh, I don't see a good reason why this won't work in place of where this was, other than there just would be 2 bolts missing out of it. And at this point, I'm still going to take care of this rack. I'm going to get the seals for it and probably redo it and put it upstairs in the old barn here, just in case I need it for a spare. You never know when I might get another one of these tractors, and I already have 2 of them, so 1100, whatever, it all kind of works. Same with that front pump. Those are getting awful hard to find, and I might as well have that just resealed and put together. So hey, never anything wrong with having spare parts, and if you can spend an afternoon scavenging them to save a boatload of dollars, great, right on. So why don't you guys give me just 5 minutes? Yeah, I'm gonna get that mess cleaned up, and well, might as well clean that one too. And then I'm gonna go ahead and clean this area up, because that's awful. And I know a lot of guys that would just put it right back together that way, but I'm not one of them. So I'll meet you back here in a minute. All right, guys, I got that area cleaned up pretty nice, and lo and behold, I don't know if you can see that there. There's the 5th and 6th bolt hole, which were not. Obviously, these racks were different, as I mentioned earlier, but I have more faith now that this one that I scavenged is going to work just fine in there. Now, the difficulty is I just have to bend over and pick up this heavy son of a bitch and, get her up in that hole. Time to man up now, I guess. Whew. Okay. Ain't nothing to do here? Got a little more. These are heavy. Whew. Okay, one more alley-oop for the money shot. Sure. Okay. Quit shooting at me. All right. All right, just gotta snake her down into that hole and hope that it works. This ain't necessarily a job I want more practice doing, that's for sure. Well, there. In like flint. Okay, well, okay. All right, guys, I'm going to tighten up those bolts, put the oil cooler back in. We'll catch you in a few minutes here to see if this was all in vain or if it actually will pay off. All righty, guys, let's fire this up. Fingers crossed. Let's see if it does what it needs to be doing. Well, all right. I guess all that work wasn't in vain after all. And, you know, I think that other rack definitely has some serious issues because we're a one-finger steer now and it didn't steer that easy before, so that's like a double win. Awesome. That makes my whole day. All right, guys, I guess that's going to do it for today. We only got one step left to do on this thing, and that's paint and body. That should piss everybody off because they think it's original paint and I shouldn't touch it. It's not. Not original. It's not good, and it's not theirs. So I'm going to paint it anyway. Tune in later, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.